Hey guys, lots of bullish action. This is a bit of an unexpected update on the state of the cryptos, but I couldn't help myself because we're seeing a lot of positive developments in just about every market segment right now. We're going to go over a couple of the cryptos as well as the stock market just to give a comparison and give our outlook on what else we would expect in order to uphold the upside that we're seeing. Several of these charts will be available in the description below, so check the description out if you'd like some links. But this is our Bitcoin chart. I'm zoomed all the way up to the 5-minute chart, and our bottom was on June 18th, and it was officially 17,600. And since then, look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a bullish impulse. That's right. That's where this channel gets its name. You can even subdivide these into impulses internally, maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. The first wave also looks like a 5 of impulse, as does this right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So very bullish development in Bitcoin. And right now, or at least as of my last few updates, I was expecting possibly deeper for our second wave. This is about as deep as we'll get for the second wave. We hit just about a 50% retrace, just shy of it. And now we're getting some upside after that. This isn't looking that encouraging yet, but maybe it's a 1, 2 nested setup, something like that. Or maybe we just hit the top of our nested 1, 2 right now. But if this is it's gonna hold up, we need this to go through our pivot zone, which is right here between the 0.618 and the 0.764 extensions. Breaking through that and maintaining the 0.618 extension as support gives us a very high confidence that this isn't just a 5th wave extension or something like that, or a B wave or anything like that, that this really is either a C wave or the wave 3. Expect this wave 3 to get us past the 25,000 mark, with an ultimate top somewhere between $27,000 and about $28,000 for this overall impulse. So that's Bitcoin. We've seen similarly bullish action in Ethereum as well. This doesn't have as clean of a look to it, but you could convince me that this might be some kind of an ending diagonal or something. It actually doesn't break too many of the rules of Elliott wave theory. So you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, a little funky looking, but doesn't really break any of the rules. It held support. And we have our second wave down, and we may be off to the races already with the latest bullish action. Here, our pivot zone is between 1236 and 1281. If we can get through there, there is a very good chance we get straight up to the 1475 to 1548 range before our final top comes as far up as 1668 before a larger pullback. And once we have that larger pullback, that would be a good base to set up our projections overhead for further action. So those are the two main cryptos, but some of the altcoins also have nice action going up. This is Ethereum Classic. Not sure how visible that is on the screen, but here too, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice textbook looking 5-wave impulse. So that's a good sign. And then when we look at Chainlink, where did that go? Or I'm sorry, we're going to go to Dash next, because this also looked pretty decent. This had a big spike rally, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you count that little green candle there as a spike. And this one is really accelerating to the upside. Chainlink looks pretty clean. We went over this not that long ago, but it doesn't look, I'll probably have to relabel this. Is that the third wave top, or is that the third wave top? Not totally sure, but we can count that as 5 up as is. So I'm going to make the adjustment right here, right now. And that looks good. I just had a gut feel to go and click on DOT. Anything interesting here? Maybe. Yeah, we can call that 5 up as well. So I'm not going to go over everything. There's more excitement in the stock market. I had to click on that because it's up 5%. Stellar Lumens XLM going for the moon here. So that's a good sign. I'm actually going to put our fib extension tool on here, assuming that's the top of our first wave. And that is our second. We've already broken through our pivot of 12.3 cents for Stellar. And as long as we can respect the 12.1 cent support down here, this is golden. We should get this thing up to 13 plus cents in no time. So as I was hinting, the excitement is actually coming from the stock market of all places. This is the ES mini futures, the futures for the S&P 500 stock market index. And you can see once we had our bottom way back on, what was that, June 17th, shortly before the crypto bottom, the stock market ran ahead because it was closed over the weekend. We had our, we could count this a number of different ways. It could be a 5-wave leading diagonal and a pullback, or this could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. Depends on how you look at it. But regardless, we are skying overnight, about to break through this pivot. Whether we do or not, it's not really, we don't have to break through it right away. but there's bullish impulsive action up off the lows. There's nothing that looks suspicious yet. And again, if this is a 1-2 setup, then we may already be well on our way to our third wave here. And again, I mentioned this because the stock market and cryptos have been tied at the hip for a very long time. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a teaser on what I expect long-term. I'm going to do a video on the history of the stock market cycles over the past 20 years, as well as that of cryptos. They've been very well aligned. It's eerie how aligned they've been. And contrary to popular belief, so have long-term bonds. TLT is a good representative for that, good proxy. I got it here somewhere, but a lot of us believe that bonds go in the opposite direction of stocks, whatever it is, a good way to shield yourself. And it's actually not the truth. Just about everything seems to correlate somewhat. And well, this is the Bitcoin chart. And you can see that, well, it didn't exist when we had our great financial crisis, the 2008 financial crash. So we've only had nothing but upside action to look at. And I've been mentioning that we pulled back a lot deeper than I thought. So I actually have a new alternate pattern that has become our primary. That's what this purple is. And that says that our December 2017 top was, again, the major third wave. That hasn't changed. However, I'm looking at this bottom in December of 2018, 1 year after that, as the actual fourth wave. You'll realize, if you've been following my channel, that I have a lot of altcoins in which I consider that bottom to be the actual fourth wave bottom. And if that is the case, then we should have, well, we already have most of this ending diagonal fifth wave complete. So when I zoom up a little bit at this on the weekly view, I'm actually going to zoom up to give us the daily chart. And what this is telling us is that we have basically a 1-2 and could be an impulse, maybe not, but deep second wave. And then this could be a three-wave impulse. I'm sorry, not a three-wave impulse, a three-wave zigzag for a third wave. One could argue that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to go into the details on that, but assuming that's the case, we have a 3. The fourth wave actually basically struck the bottom of our channel trend line that is drawn from way back when. And therefore, we have one more rally to go. That would be the fifth of the fifth. And then, well, there's 3 levels of fifths here. But point being that it's looking very much like we're going to get that final rally blow off top. And on the big picture, oh, actually, before I shift to the big picture again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could take us up to about the 98,000 mark. That's the bottom of the box. But we have extensions that could go higher than that. The reason for that is that there's a lot of confluence in that right around that 100K mark. Let me zoom out now so you guys can see what I mean. Zoom in a little bit, zoom out there. Okay. So when we look at that 100,000, we have confluence from our, what I was calling the 1-2, as well as from what I'm calling the 3-4, and of course on the short-term chart. So that is exciting. And if you guys look at that, I do have a timing estimate here. This is probably the latest timing estimate for the top. I got November 2023. Different cryptos have slightly different estimates. I've done some on the Dow as well, and everything is pointing at some kind of a top in 2023, possibly the second half of 2023. Right now, it's leaning towards summer. I believe Dash I may have had a time estimate on that. Let me see if I did on it or not. On the Dash chart, I did not. However, I may have that on my Dow chart. Gonna look at that real quick. I think I'm on the wrong chart here. This is the, actually, I don't have that open at the moment. But again, I don't want to dig too much into it. This is just a teaser. So point being that everything is aligned to give us one final rally before we hit the everything top. And this could be a multi-decade cyclical top, maybe a once in a century cyclical top. So I'm going to have a lot more detail on that, because after that, things might get ugly. This pink box represents the 38.2 to 61.8% retrace of the entire cycle from, well, as far back as Bitcoin can be charted. So therefore, it could be a precipitous, terrible crash, but not just in cryptos. Before all you stock people start making fun of crypto bros, it's going to hit everything. It's not just going to be in cryptos. So I'm going to have plenty more coming y'all's way. And again, exciting news. We do have our bullish impulse set up, and we're looking for some higher highs to confirm the continued momentum shift upward. Subscribe so that you don't miss my updates. And if you enjoyed my video, don't forget to give me a like. Until next time, thank you for watching and happy trading.